And in spite of all your troubles, in spite of the many times you have fallen, and no matter what you are, no matter how low you are, she says, come on. She receives you. And so the mother aspect of God is the mercy aspect of His presence. And that's why Divine Mother is utilized so much, because we as human beings are very frail. But we know through the soul within us that no matter what we have done or will do, if we go to her, she will receive us, as our own mother has always done. And that's why Master has said that the mother aspect of God is most beautiful and most to be desired. Father, you're not sure whether He's going to let you off or not, but you're always sure of the mother. And that's why if you appeal to God as Divine Mother, sincerely and persistently, she will answer you. Never forget that. And so God can be Father or Mother. Also, God can come to us in any form, because in His consciousness is infinite variety. As you meditate, He can come in any intuitional form, as the spiritual eye, just to give you an illustration, or any other aspect of His astral or spiritual creation. He can come to you as that, as a direct personal response. Also, God comes to us as His great saints. Realize that, because isn't He in the saint? If He's in the flower and He's in the mountain, He surely is in the saint. That's why those who worship saints sincerely and honestly, not only with mind but with heart, God will respond through His saints. St. Francis saw the living form of Jesus in Assisi. He saw His form. St. Teresa, those of you who have read about her, said that her Lord appeared to her in a more tangible way than as if she had seen Him and conversed with Him. That's why I told you in the beginning that the intuitional response of God is closer than just the outward form, because that's the feeling aspect of God Himself. And so God appeared, or the Lord, as the Christ consciousness, appeared to her, not in form, but in a more tangible way. He talked to her so that she knew, although she didn't see Him with eyes, or didn't hear the voice, she knew. The celestial response is very difficult to explain, because it is God's presence itself. St. Thomas Aquinas also had that realization of the response of God without form. And so sometimes, especially in the final vision of God, that's the greatest thing, because then that celestial response cannot be described, because it is not only with mind, but it is with your heart. And the heart response is what gives you the final freedom. Mind will give you contact with God, but the love of God from your heart will give you freedom, final merging in Him. Now, what are the requirements for response? What are the requirements? For the response of God as Father or Mother or whatever way you want, the requirements are the same. First, we must have a definite conception of God in any aspect. Most people say, you worship God? Sure. What is He? God. Spirit. That's no conception of God. The conception of God must be clear and true and understandable. And that's why when we read the Scriptures, St. John, in the beginning was the Word was with God, the Word was God. Therefore, that conception can be known through mind, through mental powers. So the conception must come first. In that holy vibration, remember, as I have said, is God's great intelligence. So it's not just a dead vibration. or a cold vibration. It has His omniscience in it. And so we first, through mind, must have the conception of God. Then secondly, we must be sincere and persevering. And how many people following religion are that way? In business you have to be, otherwise you don't eat. How much more so in worshiping God in any of His aspects must we be sincere and persevere. And if we do that, God will respond, because that's the law of success, is sincerity, really wanting God and keeping at it until you get Him. Wanting Divine Mother. If you have that persistence, she cannot help but respond. That's her nature. That's God's nature as Divine Mother. And the third is that if we are sincere, if we have the right conception of God, if we are sincere and persevering, that is conducive to the welling up within us of love, unconditional love. That's the third, that's the greatest requisite to receive the response of God. Unconditional love. Unless you have that, she will not come. Because until that comes within you, you have many other movements within your being which interfere with the silent incoming of Divine Mother. Understand that. But sincerity and perseverance arouses